Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a plan with me for the intro pages for March 2024 in my A5 reading journal from Archer and Olive. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. Here we are in my A5 reading journal. I don't know what it is, but lately I've been seeing a lot of ghosting in my Archer and Olive journals, which is super disappointing, but maybe it's me. For this video, we're going to be using some green sheets of paper from an Archer and Olive notepad. We'll be using this stamp set from Everyday Explorers Co., this stamp set from My Favorite Things, and this new stamp set from Carrie Bradford Studios. I'll be using two different distressed oxides as well as my black VersaFine ink. And in this spread, we'll also be using these two different washi tapes. So I've been really enjoying doing these videos. I think it's so fun to put them together. That way you all can kind of see my process of creating these intro pages in my reading journal. I decided to go with green for March. Green seems to be the March color in a lot of planners that have color coding or a color story. And while I don't necessarily love green, I do like this kind of soft minty green. And for some reason now, I feel like using any other color in March for intro pages doesn't quite make sense. Even in my regular traveler's notebook size planner, I used a little bit of like a grayish green color in my washi tape. So I did start out with putting down these torn sheets of paper for these first two pages. The page on the left, which I'm starting to stamp right now, is going to be my TBR, and the page on the right is my March cover page. This is obviously very similar to what I've done the last 2 months, and I've really enjoyed the way the last 2 months have looked in my reading journal, so I feel like I'm going to stick with this kind of vibe and theme, at least for the first half of 2024. We'll see what happens in the second half of the year. But I used these new letter stamps that I got from Carrie Bradford Studios, which I absolutely love. And then I'm using this kind of like paint swatch, I don't know if that's the right word, stamp with my purple distressed oxide, and then this kind of like, I don't know, obscure is definitely not the right word, stamp from Everyday Explorers Co. in blue. I've used this kind of color story, green, blue, purple, in several spreads in my planners in the last couple of years, and I just love the way those three colors look together. And then I'm a little off camera right now, but similar to the last 2 months, I'm using a piece of washi tape at the top of my TBR sheet just so that it almost looks like it's being held down to the page with that piece of washi. And now we're going over to the monthly spread, and the first thing I'm doing is adding in a little scrap of the green paper, which again is something I've done the last 2 months and really like. I'm off camera here, but I'm actually just cutting off the excess. I used a kind of corner piece on purpose to make this a little easier for myself, but I did still have to do a little bit of trimming. And now that I have the sheet of green paper down, I'm going to go in with these two decorative stamps again and utilize the same colors as I did on my TBR and cover pages. And then I'm going to go in with the same set of letter stamps to put in the March, basically like header. I will say I didn't like space this out ahead of time, and I kind of wish I would have, only because as we make our way through March, we end up putting, I say we, Me, I'm the one that did it. I have to take responsibility if I don't like the way that it looks. But see how this H comes right to the edge of that green paper? I kind of would have liked it better if there was either a little bit of green peeking out from the side or if it went over into the white paper. I don't love that it kind of is right on the edge. But I did add a couple of tiny pieces of washi to that deco area. And then I realized that I never added washi into my cover page. So I'm doing that now. I initially was going to go with a couple of longer strips of washi, but I slowly but surely ended up like trimming these down as I put them down. So even right here, this like polka dotted one, I ended up trimming back because I think with the other stamps, the smaller pieces of washi just work better. And the last thing that we're going to do in this plan with me is put in the lines to border each of these pages using my ruler and my micron in 08. I'm sure that you all noticed that when I was in my monthly spread, I had already put that monthly spread together, meaning like the lines in to create the grid, which serves as my month. And that's something that I have been doing in the last couple of months with this video, but also when I do my March Injure pages in my catch-all planner. It's just easier for me, to be totally honest. Doing it on camera is annoying. And I like to be very close to the page when I do something like that. And I can't really be close to the page when I'm doing it on camera. So I just don't love that. And I don't want to make an error when I do these. So I try really hard to not make errors. I actually did make an error when I put this one together because I was being distracted by watching Loki for like the third time. But that's my reasoning for not doing them on camera so much anymore. And I hope that's okay. It just works better for me. And I think my monthlies tend to come out better because of that. Now that we have all of those border lines in, let's take a look at these pages. I love the way these pages came out. They're definitely very minimal, but I'm totally okay with that. I just love the vibe. I love the green. I don't know why I'm loving it so much, but I am. And I just think these pages came out great. I can't wait to write on them. I can't wait to fill them in. I hope you all enjoyed this video. And as always, everyone, please be safe. Bye-bye.